Happy Friday, Mountain Movers. There's only a month and a half left in 2023. And rather than coast into the end of this year, make this your 2024 time trials. So what habits do you need to start? What bad habits do you need to break? And what good ones have been serving you well these first 10 and a half months that you need to continue on so you don't lose all that progress? Because it's a lot quicker to break off these good habits than it is to build them. So let's keep them around. And it's good to spend time with family and travel and all that sort of stuff and break away from the hustle and grind. But don't abandon the good habits that gave you all that progress. And if you haven't seen it and you're waiting until January, why not start now? Because coasting for the last 2 months of the year for 30 years equals 5 years of your life. So start now with some of those good habits. Next thing was a clip from a Mark Batterson book where he's talking about a baseball player that looked natural. And he says, in my opinion, no one's a natural. Sure, some people are more gifted than others, but unless that giftedness is coupled with a complementary work ethic, it'll only result in wasted potential. And this baseball player that they talked about, he would swing a ridiculous amount of swings each day with a 44-ounce bat that equaled thousands of times per year. So then when he stepped up to the plate, he did look like a natural. And we can see so many people out there that look natural at what they do. Public speaking, write-ups, writing books, how they execute the work each day, whatever the case may be, maybe athletics. But that could just be the tip of the iceberg. What's underneath the surface is the grind, the hard work, the work ethic. So I would ask you this question: with your gifts, is it paired with a relentless work ethic? And if not, what an opportunity to lean into those gifts and make them as impactful as possible. And the last one seemed to get a ton of responses with John Stamos and Bob Saget. John talking about the last dinner he had with his best bud. And he was hurrying through the day. He was ready to get out of there and get on to the next thing. And Bob Saget could see that and said, let's order some cake. And it wasn't about the cake. It was about just slowing down the moment. And that was the last meal John Stamos had with Bob before he passed away. And John said, we're always in a hurry to go somewhere next. You never think this is the last time I get to see my best friend. And so when you're with someone you love, that you care about, slow down and eat the cake. And I know this gut punched me pretty hard, because when I'm doing something, most of the time I start thinking about what's next, or drifting off into some sort of mindset, or checking my phone. And so I started practicing just being in the moment. And the moments are so much more special. And it's not so much about creating more time as it is just enjoying the current time that you're in. And your senses come alive when you are more present. And this really gives you something to think about when you hear the expression, be where your feet are. So be where your feet are today, the next day, and the day after that. Finish strong, and I will see you next week.